everyone, it's Peggy with Natural Awakening Chicago Magazine, and I want to welcome you to this month's edition of Recipes from a Seasonal Kitchen with our writer Veronica Hinke. This month, we're focused on something called fire cider, and you'll find the recipe in the January issue of Natural Awakenings at nachicago.com. But we're going to talk today about a little bit of the history behind what is fire cider. It's a very potent herbal tonic, and it's been written about by a lot of people. For the story, though, Veronica interviewed several people, including Petra Page Mann and Linda Conroy. So welcome, Veronica.
Hi, Peggy. I'm so excited to talk with you today and share information about fire cider. I've learned so much, and it's a wonderful winter topic. It's an elixir that you can make very easily with ingredients that are available almost everywhere. And it's very versatile. And people believe that it can help you, it boosts your immunity, and just the healthy effects of foods that you can include, like ginger and peppers. A lot of hot peppers we're going to talk about. It can help you just weather through the winter, but just by the effects of having those wonderful nutrients, almost like a good soup stock. And but it's not a soup. It is something that you can store in a container like this, or smaller container, and keep it for about a month, where you store it on the shelf. It can go on the shelf because apple cider vinegar is a key component. Any kind of vinegar can work, but apple cider is a favorite of mine. And because vinegar is in it, it can store for a month before it is consumed. And what people love to do is take a dose, maybe a day, every other day. When you're starting to feel a little bit run down, you can take an extra dose. A teaspoon is what I mean by a dose. And it's just a really beautiful concoction of wintry vegetables and herbs and spices.
Yeah. Now, when we were talking about your article and talking about fire cider, we were saying, gee, it would have been nice if we could have done something in the fall when there's so many fresh vegetables coming in from the market. But if fire cider is something, it takes about a month to ferment. And it's something that you can make at any point. So if you were to say start it now, it'll be ready by Valentine's Day. And you can use ingredients like you're saying, the apple cider vinegar from the store, the mustards and some of the other things you're talking about. And if you don't have fresh, you can use some dried. If you've got an international grocery store, you might find some wonderful peppers and things that aren't available at the regular grocery store, or maybe things that you've got on your own shelf from your garden that you saved.
Yes. Radishes, for example, if you still have some radishes from your garden. Rosemary, you might still have some rosemary coming up in some parts of the area, or you can buy it in the store for an extra flavor. I like to get cinnamon sticks from the store to put in my fire cider. And I'll tell you what, Peggy, why don't I get started filling up this jar? This is a very versatile recipe. When I talked with Petra Page Mann of Fruition Seeds, she mentioned how versatile this is. Yeah. And that you can use things that you really like. If you have any kind of concerns about a hot pepper, for example, you can use a red bell pepper, colorful and flavorful and full of nutrition.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of different types of peppers. And I do want to mention something Petra had said, because you were talking about how it's an elixir and it's health. But as she says, they use it as both food and medicine. And Linda says the same thing. Linda Conroy from Moonwise Herbal and Midwest Women's Herbal Conference. They'll add it to salad dressings. They'll add it to tea. Yes. They'll add it to other recipes to give that immune boosting quality, as well as the potent, bright flavors that you're going to get out of the tonic. So what are you doing there? You're starting with an empty mason jar.
Yep, and I'm filling it with the beautiful rosemary that I bought at the store. I'm filling 3 jars because I'm going to make some Valentine's gifts for people that I know will love this. I have many good friends.
Now, do you wash those before you put them in?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, because that's really key. Make sure you wash really good, but don't worry about throwing in stems and seeds. You want to have a nice spicy concoction, nice spicy elixir. I am cutting lengthwise. I'll show you. So you can see the seeds inside.
Mhm.
And I'm using serrano and jalapeno peppers because that's
Have
what
a
I
little
found
bit of
in
a
the
kick
store.
to it.
Yeah. And you want to open them up. You don't need to cut these up. It's not like your Sunday afternoon vegetable cutting session where you have to cut things for your salads. You can rough chop these just like you would for a soup stock,
Mhm.
and just make sure they're getting into the pot, like even the ends of the peppers. You
Yeah,
want to
because you're not
include those.
eating those. You're going to be drinking the tonic. And the reason we're using the hot peppers or even the regular mild peppers, if you can't handle hot peppers, is that capsaicin. It's the chemical quality of the peppers that gives us warming and helps promote good circulation.
Yeah. And the impression that I got from folks that I talked with for the story is that you can't go too hot. You want to temper it a little bit with some citrus, okay, and some the vinegar, of course.
Mhm.
So I'm going to slice. I want these to be pretty for my friends, so
Yeah,
I'm actually going to slice them.
and that citrus is going to provide vitamin C.
Yes. I made a cream for a dessert today that my friends and I are going to have at a potluck, and I used fresh orange juice. I'm going to take that end and put it right in this jar.
Perfect.
So I'm not afraid of what it looks like as far as that goes, but I do want to include some slices so
Mhm.
that it looks really nice.
Yeah.
Um, you can
And
do this with
there's different
lemon.
types of citrus, you could be using the oranges, the lemons. I know some people can't eat grapefruit because they might have some interactions with some medicines that they're taking. So be careful on that for who you might be sending it to. But there's also other vitamin C Petrus suggests, like rose hips and pine needles and other things you might have in your yard.
Yeah, if you have things like that in your yard, and if you don't, think about pine, or excuse me, with maple syrup. I'm going to put a little maple syrup in this. I've
Ooh,
got
add like
some.
a nice little bit of sweetener.
Yeah, a little bit of sweetener. I mean, you want it to taste good too. You don't want it to be just all spice and heat.
Hmm.
Um, so think about that. If you do want to go to a public land to forage, you need to make sure that you have a permit if you need one. So find out what is required in those lands. Cinnamon sticks, and I wanted to show everybody, this was kind of hidden, I noticed, when I went to get cinnamon sticks this year at the store. So I want to show everybody what that looks like in the container,
Hmm.
because these can be purchased for, not a whole lot of money, right in the grocery store, and they're
Yeah, or
wonderful.
online. I've seen them online too in bulk.
And a red onion is in most, or an onion of some kind is in most recipes. You can just take this and cut it up into rough pieces.
So
And
while
you can
you're
take,
cutting that, what if people have a sensitivity to onions?
well, and some people do. So
Like
you
me.
want to think about a shallot or leeks. Yes. Um,
And
so
that should have some antimicrobial, antibacterial, immune enhancing properties as well from
yeah.
from the alliums.
So just like with the peppers, think about substitutes that might work better for you and your friends. And you don't need to dice these, but definitely cut them up enough so that you can release those flavors and those nutritional benefits. Some people like to leave skin on the ginger. I'm just going to rough chop the ginger.
Yeah.
Juniper berries. I like to add juniper berries because they add flavor to kind of balance out all the heat. Star anise is a
Mhm.
really pretty and wintry addition to any of these uh, to a fire cider.
Yeah.
Rosemary Gladstar wrote a book about fire cider, and this is one of my new favorite books. Rosemary Gladstar is an herbalist who really coined the term fire cider, as far as we know, from everything I was able to tell from my research. And it was in 1979. However, this is a centuries old approach to improving immunity.
Yeah. I was going to go back to something when we were looking at the oranges and the lemons, and you write in your article in the January edition of Natural Awakenings that Linda Conroy also suggests adding some elderberries or echinacea root so that you can get more immune boosting potential there as well.
Absolutely. Garlic is another key component. Really good garlic, and you don't have to mince it. Again, you can just take off the peels and give it a good rough shot and just throw in the cloves. One of the big things that is key is horseradish. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about is safety with horseradish roots. This time of year, most grocery stores don't have fresh horseradish, and farmers markets
Maybe
are
at an international grocery store. They might.
Yeah, you can go to an international grocery store. If you do, wear gloves and make sure that you open a window for a little while to ventilate, because no kidding, those are really strong. Horseradish is a really strong ingredient.
But as you've got on the counter there, you can also use a prepared horseradish.
Yes, I'm going to use a nice good scoop of this prepared horseradish. You can use this for other things
That will
too.
get your attention for sure.
Yes, yes. And I'm going to add some really good mustard, and it's also by Silver Spring in Eau Claire. I'm going to use just a nice healthy dollop of it. Just again, kind of a flavor enhancer for all of this that's coming together nicely. And then a couple of radishes in each one.
And we're including a lot. You don't have to put this many ingredients in. You can, Rosemary's got a multitude of recipes in her book. We've got one from Petra Page Mann in your article. We've got one from Linda Conroy in your article. There's many more, and you can build your own favorite off of that.
So I'm adding radishes for the color, really more than anything on of course, the nice robust flavor, but there's no ingredients measurements, because what you want to do is just throw in what you like and then top it off. Just make sure it's all covered with your apple cider vinegar. You can use any kind of vinegar. You could use wine vinegar, champagne vinegar, but I think apple cider vinegar is delicious. Give it a good shake it up good before you pour it in. Yeah, and then you just want to seal up the.
Did you move the bottle over just a little?
Oh, the vinegar. Sure. Here we go.
There we go.
How's that? Okay. We're gonna just seal this up, and I'll show you how you can make a quick gift out of it. Seal it up good. I cut some ribbons, and just gonna go all the way around this jar. And just make a fun presentation for someone for Valentine's Day or anything. Yeah.
Just because. And, some of the recipes also suggest when you're serving this, you could pour it straight from the jar, but it's better if you strain it. So then you're able to store it in your refrigerator, and you might want to add some fresh local organic honey as well.
Yeah. Honey is great in these.
Yeah.
Especially when it's local and organic.
Yeah, you're going to let it sit for about a month and then refrigerate it or strain it, add some honey or sweetener and refrigerate it. And yeah, like you said, take a tablespoon, add it to your salad dressings, add it to tea.
Add it to tea, like you mentioned, the salad dressings. And it's just really a wonderful thing to have on hand. I love being able to see the juniper berries in there. Those might be elderberries for you, or whatever you like.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Veronica. I'm looking forward to trying some fire cider this winter, making my own recipes.
Well, I am too. And good luck to everyone as you try making your fire cider, and have fun with it.
Again, you can find the full recipe and Veronica's complete article in the January 2024 issue of Natural Awakening Chicago magazine at nachicago.com.